You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KCCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Kicking off your Saturday mornings off right. It's Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth on Lone Star Community Radio, irlonestar.com, and Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1. Now on from 8 to 10 a.m., it's Grit and Grace with Jennifer and Merideth.
Woo, and we're back.
9:02
this beautiful Saturday morning. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're here from 8 to 10 every Saturday morning, 8 to 10 again. Doo-doo. I'm sorry, did I say doo-doo? Anyway, so of course you can catch us right here live if you know what's up, irlonestar.com, 104.5 and 106.1. Also, we can be found on a Lone Star Internet app, right?
Yes.
Our Internet Radio Lone Star. I know.
Lone Star Internet Radio.
Thank you, Mama. I'm sorry. I got a little frazzled because in that 10-second break, my husband calls me thinking, and of course I think something's going on because he knows I'm on the air. But no, he just had some sweet words to say for 2 seconds, which I really adore. Thank you, honey. Wait till 10, please. Okay, so... Or text me. Yeah, he's so sweet. And in fact, that's something I do want to talk about, okay?
Okay.
So I think we talked about this week about, just great things that you get to, have when you got a great family, right? And when they go traveling, they do things. Like when you go on a trip, you bring home souvenirs for Jack. Do you? You need to bring some for Jack. How about Jensen? How about your son? Not mine.
Yes.
Although your next trip, what?
Well, I don't have a Jack, but yeah.
Jensen may get upset at that, but so what do you bring home?
He's not listening. He's watching it.
Crazy. We'll get to that in a second. That in itself is its own segment. So fill me in, though. When you go on a trip and you're bringing back a souvenir, what do you bring your boy?
Sometimes I'm bringing back a shirt.
Yeah.
With like the name of, like we went to New Orleans and I brought him back a shirt that was actually like a pirate shirt from New Orleans.
Oh, how cute. That's super cute. Maybe a keychain.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, we're not in keychains right now.
Okay.
I don't know. Just usually it's something with the name of wherever I'm.
Right. And of course, I think a lot of listeners, when you go out and you think, traveling and you're coming back to bring family something, you're going to bring souvenir, maybe I was saying a keychain or a snow globe.
A magnet.
Yeah, something little or, we understand. I'm not looking for something big. So I'm talking to my hubby because, he went out of town for a couple days this week.
Okay.
And I'm not going to lie, guys. I had to do double dog duty, which is not my favorite thing, okay? Because I also had to wear my mama hat and grown-up hat. There was so much going on.
Yes.
But we survived, and let's just say one day, fence in a Cadillac.
Right.
I'm like, good night, give me a fence. Okay, I'm in the country, I had to take the dogs out, and they are high-maintenance dogs. Of course, we don't have easy dogs. We have high-maintenance dogs. So I was thrilled that he came home, and he was telling me Thursday night about, his trip and, coming home last night, and he was excited to see me, and I was, same here. I was like, honey, I miss you. I can't wait to see you. And, of course, I playfully talk about the dogs, but, I love the man himself, too.
Right.
Every time I talk about it, I'm like, I can't do this dog thing, and everybody's like, but you miss your husband. I'm like, yes, of course, but it's just because I was in the thick of the dogness.
Right.
So he said, I have a souvenir I'm going to bring home. And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah. So backstory is he was traveling for a couple days to, like some of the southern states, I guess, Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi area, which, side note, finally right before he left, like, I was like, hey, where are you going, by the way? Because I didn't really ask for his itinerary. I was like, oh, you're going out of town a couple days? Then I was like, oh, I should probably know where he's going,
Right.
But anyway, so he said, yeah, we've been traveling. And in these past couple of days, they were driving so much. It was like over 1,000 miles on their rental car kind of thing. And I was like, wow. And he said, yeah, and we went into these southern places. And Meredith, you'd be pretty surprised because he knows how I am. One of my biggest, I would say, pet peeve is an understatement. Like I just am anti-discrimination of any. So he knows that. And he was like, so I went into this place and I went into the bathroom and you won't believe this pamphlet I saw. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, it was like this, like Confederate flag, like huge pro thing talking about the history and Robert E. Lee and da-da-da. And I was like, what? I was like, why are you gonna? And he was like, and more or less it came across to him, kind of, well, I took it anyway because I jumped to conclusions. I was like, what? I don't want none of that. He's like, oh, I got to bring it home. I'm going to come show you. I was like, I don't want you bringing that in your suitcase. What are going to be? And he was like, yeah, you got to see this. It's kind of funny. And then I also saw like a religious one about, being homophobic and all that. And I was like, why do you think I want these things? He was like, you got to see this stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, just throw it away. He goes, they had signs where you can't throw it away or put it in the toilet. I was like, what? Where are you going to these places? Like,
right.
And finally I said, souvenirs. Give me a keychain. Give me a snow globe. I don't want some crazy pamphlets. And so he knows how to razz me. And that's how we are. So, of course, I go on this long tangent. He's like, Merideth, I'm just doing it because it's funny. I'm not trying to bring you home anything for real. And I was like, well, we need to start another fire. So, yeah, bring it home. We'll start a fire with that stuff. And he was like, calm down. And it was just, I was totally blown away. I'm like, so he gets home last night, and I have yet to see the pamphlets because I don't care, and I don't want to see that stuff, right? But I didn't hear him say he got me a keychain or anything either. So I'm like, we had a discussion. Now, I'm hoping, honey, don't call me right now, but I hope you got something.
Yeah, because your phone is going nuts over there.
It is, and it's hard for my family to realize I'm actually live on air right now. I know, I'm not playing, for real. So maybe this will give my hubby a chance in the next hour to find a keychain or something. Actually, there's a Tweety one with my name on it. Go ahead and take it off my vanity, bring it up in the kitchen, let me think it's mine, okay? Because I don't want none of that.
Well, because, where around here is he going to get a keychain that says Alabama or Mississippi or...
Southern states. Merideth never wants to go. No, of course I want to go to those places, but saying in the particular communities he may have visited that they would not have been inviting for me. Let's just say I'm thankful the Lord put me in this time and era because I think I would have been in trouble in other areas, eras.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was hilarious. A couple things we also learned is my husband was able to find his male soulmate friend and his male soul car. Or not male soul car, his soulmate car. That's what I meant to say. Okay, two things. Number one, my hubby is a huge 80s man. He listens to Cure, Smiths, all these other 80s bands. I know the name, honey, don't bombard me right now, but you know what I'm saying. So ends up his colleague and he, as they were traveling, they're like, well, what kind of music do you like? They ended up liking the same kind of music. And my husband was so excited because, that's something they had in common and they got to enjoy it the whole trip. 1,000 miles on the road. I would like that too. If I was driving with someone and we liked the same music, so it was hilarious. And I laughed at him. I was like, oh my gosh, you found your male soulmate. That's great.
His bromate.
There you go. That sounds a lot better. Thank you, Jen. So then we're on the way home last night and I was like, well, did you, he was talking about the rental car and how they put over 1,000 miles on it. And then he was like, and you won't guess. I was like, what? Because he's one of those that is a cruise control guy, which is I'm not a fan of, okay? Because I like to accelerate. Like, I'm in motion, like not chilling on the road. I follow the speed limit, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying I'm not a cruise controller. So he was so thrilled at the Corolla that they were renting because the auto cruise locks in on the car in front of you and just changes to adapt to it. And he was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, you found your car soulmate. Because then he said, it makes noise and brakes and all the other stuff we knew of. I didn't know the cruise control lock-in thing, which is cool. So more or less, my husband found a couple soulmates on his trip. I'm very excited.
Aww.
And so I was like, well, did you like it? Did you drive it? And he said, yeah. I go, well, that's the car you need. He's like, oh, okay. We just checked it off the box.
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to say, so is he going to go get one?
That's what I asked him. And he was, of course, he's, and I'm very fortunate. He's a frugal Freddy. He likes to be very.
But he needs a new car.
Oh, yes, he does. But he's very particular and likes a good deal. And he is a methodical shopper. He will definitely research, make sure, for,
Brandon, start doing your research.
Yes.
You need to get the new Toyota Corolla with the auto cruise.
Oh yeah, I think it's really meant to be for him because
Let the Sunfire go, man.
Oh, I know. I was about to say Sunfire. That's what he's got. And coincidentally, we've got a few in our yard, or in our community. I'm sorry, I got distracted. A young lady popped in to smile through the window, and I was like, "Hello." No, we have other Sunfires in our neighborhood, but other than that, I don't get to see them too much on the road. But when I do, I'm like, "Hey," because I don't think they're
Right.
out in production anymore.
No.
Yeah, so it's hilarious. But yeah, he does need one. So I think he'll be going the Corolla. And of course he was apprehensive because he thought that was like all the bells and whistles. But rental cars, I don't think they do bells and whistles on their makes and models.
My car that I have now
Yeah.
actually was a rental car.
Yeah, mine too.
And it's not, mine is probably middle of the road.
Okay.
I don't have all of the bells and whistles. I have some of the bells and whistles.
Well, and that's what he was.
I mean, like, I have satellite radio, but I do not have hands-free.
Oh, that is okay. Yeah, I don't know if this one in particular I had hands free, but he was excited about the appearance of the screen, like
Yes,
everything. He was so excited about it. It was so cute. So that's why I was like, well, let's go get. That's what you need to get. And
Right.
he was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just. Poof, it's done.
That's right.
And because of course I know he wants to do some more kind of shopping. And frankly, yeah, we are the ride till it dies kind of crew. So I think he's going to do it until the Sunfire cannot fire up anymore.
I understand that to a certain point.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I did that with Gina, my
When-
Camry.
Okay, that just cracked me up because I know that, yeah. She has a dog named Gina. So I'm
I
like,
have
what?
I know. Sorry.
Uh,
Ride it till she dies.
When it costs more to fix your car than what it's worth, let it go.
It's about that time. No, I agree. And he's not there yet, but it will happen. But that's what happened to Chris. But it had to happen multiple times before that fool.
Look, I am surprised when he went to get his new truck. God love you, Chris. I am really surprised that the dealership did not say that will cost you $1,000 to take that car.
Oh no, he sold it, or he kept it or sold it. Like there's a backstory. He had, what is it, a Bronco or a Blazer? Blazer, but it was like a 95, 96 Blazer. I don't know.
No, he told me it was like a 1990 Blazer.
Oh, that thing was hilarious. And what I love is that the funniest part is like when your vehicle doesn't allow you to go out at night, then and you're
See, that's probably the thing is they probably said, yeah, you're going to have to pay us to take that car. And he said, oh, I'll just keep it.
I could totally see that.
I'll
I could totally see it because nobody's going to take off with that baby easily, I promise. But no, long story short, his headlights work sometimes not.
Sometimes, yes.
But there were multiple times that I'd be like, come on, let's go. And he's like, I can't. My lights aren't working. Somebody's got to come pick me up. I'm like, you're a grown man. You make decent money. What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, I happen to have 3 kids. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So
Yeah.
they came first,
Yeah,
and they
not
do.
the first time I met him, but the first time that we hung out.
Yeah. It was our birthday.
I'm going to have to ride with y'all because my headlights won't come on. And I'm like, huh?
And this was after dinner. Like, we had
Yes.
not met for dinner.
Yes,
so
met for dinner.
they worked on the way there, and then something
It was
happened.
still light.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of light outside when we got there, yeah. Anyway, so I was like, okay. I'm like, what do you drive? And he was like, a 1990 Blazer. And I was like, well, I think you need to get rid of it. I mean, the headlights won't even come on. What? He's like, well, I've got the car running over there, and sometimes they'll come on after it runs for a little while. So we're going to see if they'll come on.
Cracks me up. Okay, so
Yeah.
yes. Needless to say, those looking out for new cars, there are others out there too that'll ride till they die, or apparently till they can't ride anymore. But
Right.
anyway, yeah. So it was. I'm so thankful he's back, safe and sound, taking care of the dogs. Thank you, darling, but also just taking care of me. And then a huge shout out to the family, aka my son Jack, for stepping up and helping out too. So
Oh, good boy, Jack.
I know. I was going to save it for Share the Sweetness, but it just seems like it's a fitting time right here in
Yeah.
the thick of it. And yeah, right now he's also doing some food ministry, so he's a good boy. Good
Good
boy.
job. Good
But
job.
yes, we're going to take a quick break because
Okay.
I don't want to forget. We got some sweetness, right?
Yes,
Share the
yes.
sweetness. It's coming up next. Y'all stay tuned. It's Grit and Grace.
Thank you for checking out this production of Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station. Don't forget to check out this show and many others across the Lone Star Community Radio Network, either live on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, the Lone Star Internet Radio app, or irlonestar.com's live audio stream, and on replay on podcast, Channel 12's Our City TV in Conroe, or Channel 21 KVQT in Houston, and of course their YouTube channel. This production is copyrighted and all rights are reserved by Lone Star Community Radio. Have a question regarding this program or other Lone Star Community Radio shows? Want to sponsor or start your own show? Call the station message line at 936-647-3776 or email the station at lscrstudios@gmail.com.